I can't remember life before Glenn Powell. There's such power in it. People love to judge.
Lily James.
Yes.
Hello.
Hi.
We're here to talk about Swides, but before
Yeah.
we start, let's just cast our minds back 7 Glenn Powell summers ago to the Guernsey literary
I can't
amputated
remember
Pride.
life before Glenn Powell.
I mean, who
Let's
does?
not go back.
Who wants to remember
No one does.
before Glenn Powell? But I just want to say, I love that movie.
Oh,
Guernsey
thank
Literary
you.
Potato Peel Pie. It took me
You
many years to
absolutely
work out
nailed
how to
it.
say it.
Guy, you do it better than me.
Those kind of movies like Whiskey Galore and Passport to Pimlico, and that's the lifeblood of like British cinema. So it doesn't get talked about enough.
I
So
agree.
let's talk about it now.
I agree. It's a good film. I think it's on Netflix.
It's on Netflix. Watch it now.
Watch it now. Maybe I could be wrong.
I'm here working for ITN, so or watch it on ITV if it's ever on again on there. All right, let's talk about some of the films we made since then. Like Little Woods, The Dig, Iron Claw. They're quite, subtle dialogue-driven kind of movies rather than the kind of explosive sci-fi fantasy that seems to dominate the box office these days. So I wondered, is this kind of by design? What drives your choices?
Ooh, I'm drawn into story and character. I guess that's probably why I've been led more by the films you mentioned. To me, are just great roles to sink your teeth in to as an actor. Having said that, I'm really keen to do bigger genre, like, to enter into a sci-fi or fantasy or whatever. And I've got a few things I'm looking at in the coming years that will be more in that vein, because it's exciting to sort of like transform and sort of lose yourself into a different world. Yeah.
I mean, they're doing more. I know it's not sci-fi, but it's definitely fantasy. They're doing more like Lord of the Rings movies. Get into one of those things.
Yeah.
That's something. Then you can go to every Comic-Con
Yeah.
for decades. That's a good earner. Speaking of things I like, I'm a big fan of the tech biopic. The Social Network and Steve Jobs and We Crashed, which is a good TV show
loved that,
recently. BlackBerry was awesome.
Yeah.
Why is it do we like these kind of stories? What fascinates audiences into these types of people and these types of worlds, do you think?
Well, tech, there's such power in it, and things move so fast and have such huge impact. Like, culturally, shift culture in such a profound way. And I think these apps, when they're successful, and therefore the founders behind them, they like take off like the speed of light, like a rocket ship. And so the speed of growth, the impact they have, the money that's made, it's fascinating. And I was so excited to get to explore that with a woman at the heart of it all, and someone that had such great success. So yeah, it's intriguing. Yeah.
I think things move so fast these days that whenever there's something that becomes such a big part of the zeitgeist, it feels like you're watching like a historical thing, even though it might have happened like 2 or 3 years ago,
I know.
which is quite fascinating.
Yeah.
Let's talk about Whitney Wolfe a sec. Whenever you do like a bio of someone who's still alive, there is that like frisson of like, oh, what they're going to think because they're still there and we're telling her story. But this is a unique situation where she's like legally not allowed to tell her own story in a way, which just made me wonder, like, how much, like, did you guys ever talk? Do you know if she saw it, what her thoughts are on it, or is there just a big wall between this piece of work and the reality of her experience of it?
Well, I don't know, and I can't speculate, and everything in the movie was sourced from the public domain, and we had an incredible research team who did such a great job at like formulating the story and bringing it to life through our script. And then there was, of course, artistic license in a sense that we were dramatizing the story. I always say it's my version of Whitney, But I loved learning about her, not only through her professional career and her kind of brilliance as a leader and entrepreneur, but also through her experiences as a more like from a very human point of view, and what she overcame, how she channeled something negative into something so positive and had real impact. That to me is a story so valuable.
And before I get kicked out, the whole channeling to make an impact. There's a scene in the film when she goes against advice to give her real thoughts on what her kind of business partners are up to. And it made me think there's a bit of a parallel between your world, where people in the public eye get browbeaten into being scared to share what they really think because of bad press, bad publicity, just, rage online. So I wondered quickly, like, how you feel about that. How do you stay true to yourself whilst also being aware of the kind of the shackles that are upon you?
Well, I think there's a difference. There's like a public if you're talking about people in the sort of public eye, there's like a public version of you, and then there's your private version of you, and they're two separate things. So you don't have to be all things in both. But I think it's always just really important to live with authenticity and integrity, and make sure that you are, when you need to, using your voice to stand up for what you believe in without fear of judgment or being torn apart, which is very hard in today's society and culture because people love to judge. But that's why people like Whitney are such trailblazers and have such courage. And she, if you learn about her and read about her online, it seems to me her sharing her vulnerability is very inspiring for other people. There's such power in that, and it's very brave.
Well, nicely put. I really enjoyed the movie. I look forward to seeing you in
so
Middle-earth or in Star Trek or something down the line. But yeah, in the meantime, this one's great. And I'm
Thank
sure
you. I appreciate that. Thanks so much.
Cheers.